and welcome to Taya Mini Reads, Reviews, Discusses, Monologues about everything and anything, and that's on period. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. So, I had posted a video where I had talked about some recent Chinese dramas and Korean dramas that I had watched, and I think a lot of people really like those videos. So, I'm here with a different set of shows to kind of talk about. And I'm understanding that not a lot of people have Rakuten Viki where they can watch other shows. So I will primarily be focusing or talking about shows that are currently on Netflix. So I mean, everyone has Netflix, so I mean, most of these shows should be available, right? And I know they do them per region, but typically, you kind of have the same shows available in most of the regions, except it's like a Moon Lovers. Moon Lovers, I've been trying to watch that show for like 10 years. Luckily, it finally came on Viki. I'm currently watching that. So once I'm done, I will give you a review. I already have thoughts, so let's not go there. Okay, so all right. So today, like I said, we're gonna talk focusing on some Chinese dramas on Netflix that are very, very, very interesting, fascinating. I loved watching them, and I think you guys would too. So first off, I am going to talk about When I Fly Towards You. So this follows Su Zai Zai and Jan Lurang as they are in high school. So they're in high school. We kind of follow them throughout their high school. They go to college and then they, start working and they become adults basically, right? And you can see Suzaze from the beginning. She has this major, major crush on Lorang, and she's just like everywhere. She's like, oh my, all she would do the whole show was run, 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 run. She's like a little like teddy bear that wouldn't stop yelling, right? But and you can see Jan Larang was someone that was really closed off. This is due to his background. His family background is not much to write home about. He has some familiar issues, right? And Su Zai Zai, on the other hand, her parents, like I think she's the only child. She is the only child, so she's loved, very loved by her parents, and she then turns around and pours all of that love into Laurent to the point where he starts to miss her. Like if she's not there, he's like, where is she? So you can kind of see their love grow over time. And I think, fight me, but this was the cutest, sweetest, and most sincere proposal I have ever seen in Cdrama history. I said it. It was I was weeping. I was crying tears, heavy tears whenever he proposed to her. So if you like sweet love, just like young love, and if you just want to see a green forest, you should watch Zai Zai and Ran Ran. Their stories. So the first episodes, let's say 1 to 5, are just like but then when they kind of go through like the young age and they move on like they move on like high school and stuff like that, it gets more interesting. Another thing is the two the couple, right, the main CP, they are definitely matched. That was the first time I was actually watching Jan Wurang, and I forgot his stage name, his real name. I'm sorry, but he did a fantastic job. He came off really aloof, but then whenever he started to catch feelings for her, you could see that subtle change where he started to care about her. He started to make his life all about her, whereas she had done that for so long, and they were just so well matched. Honestly, the best. Even when they got together, because the chase and the trail, once they get together, usually in shows, this is just universally, once couples get together, they just kind of, it's just like, man. I think it's hard to interpret like daily life as happily married people or coupley. I don't know, but once a couple starts a relationship, it's just it just fizzles out. But theirs is pretty good because you see them together, and I don't want to, say a lot, but it's pretty short, like 24 episodes. It's on Netflix. Watch it if you like, youth love, like youths, like young love, young adult, and if you can skip like the first 3 episodes or 4. I don't think anything really goes on. There's a little misunderstanding in the beginnings, but I think if you stick with it, you will like it. It's almost like a hidden love. So if you like hidden love, this is a good rec for that kind of story, because Zai Zai and our girl in Hidden Love, they're almost the same because they had crushes on Sanji's had a crush on Donja's, so it's almost the same. So yeah, or if you watched it, let me know if you liked it. Now the next couple that I want to talk about, and this show came out last year, I think 2024, yes, and I couldn't, I don't know why, I don't know why, I just really really enjoyed this story. It's not like anything new was being created or anything. It's the same like love story, but I think the actors, they just emote so well. And that would be Amidst a Snowstorm of Love by this is Yingo and Lin Yang. So this show, it's on Netflix, right? But I think when I started watching it was actually on Viki, and then I was like, it's already on Netflix. It was still running. And that's another thing. I think Netflix is getting hip to the fact that a lot of people are watching these shows. And so they're trying to bring them in and show them, because there's other places to watch Chinese dramas, right? You have Tencent, you have Mango TV, you have Viki, you have there's another one I forgot. You have all these other like apps and sites. I mean, they're paid, they're not free, but I think Netflix is also trying to, broaden their watchship, whatever numbers. So yeah, so Amidst a Snowstorm came out last year, January. I remember very clearly because it was snowing in the show, and it was cold in real life, right? So Lin Yang and Ingo, I think it was like a love at first sight kind of thing for them, but the way it was done wasn't like like, oh please spare me. No, it was actually done really well. You could see how interested they were both into each other, and they were both thinking about each other after their initial encounter, and the way they eventually kind of like made their way towards each other was pretty cute. I think that Leo Wu is such a fantastic actor. Like, there's nothing he's done that I've watched that he hasn't like killed it, right? So he's been acting since he was really young. So you can tell. Like, that show was my bread and butter for like a whole month, right? Or whenever it was airing. So, and I think they have you like on a chokehold when they're airing like 2 episodes a day. That's like literally all you think about. So anyways, Amidst a Snowstorm is, Ingo is a young girl who flies over to an European country. I can't remember the name exactly, with her brother. And then she meets Liu Wu, who's actually living in that place permanently. She flew in for a billiards concert competition. And so this is another thing, is I feel like I've learned a lot just from watching these shows, because I didn't even know anything about billiards or how big of a sport it was or how it's even being scored. I mean, sometimes when you watch a show, like the whole like sportsship or business thing just kind of goes behind my ears. But I mean, this was pretty interesting, how they would practice and all the kind of stuff they would do just to get themselves prepared for the game. And it's a game where you have to be mentally and physically fit. Like, your brain has to be able to calculate, the angles you're gonna play, and you have to practice a lot. So so she comes into this European country for a competition with her brother, and then she meets Leo, who's kind of like He was kind of like a big deal back in the days, but something happened. He got disqualified from a game, and so he's no longer in the billiards circle, but his name is still well known, right? So I believe she meets him and she's, super impressed about, that, oh my God, it's this dude, right? And so, but then, like I said, I think they kind of fell in love with each other at first sight. And so he was also very interested in her. And so they had this kind of like whirlwind thing in the like 2 3 weeks that she was there. And so the story just picks up from there, because at the end of the day she helps him loose his emotional like knots where he's had issues, and resolves it for him, and he's able to finally come out and compete in a world stage, right? For I mean, the billiards team was a big deal. Like, they were doing global and world and like Olympics. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, where have I been, under a rock? So yeah, he ended up going on to compete for his country on a like Olympic stage, right? And this is all due to, I guess, her encouragement and stuff like that. And you could see them kind of encouraging each other. And it was, I mean, when he won his first competition, like when he was trying to get back out there, it was the sweetest thing ever, because he called her some, I'm not gonna say it, but he called her something, and everyone was like, ah! We all went wild. So Amita Snowstorm was really, 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 really good. If you like tender love, like just young people falling in love, there's no there's no evil stepmom or evil co-wife or something, like we have in like some of those period dramas. These are just like modern day, just two people met, fell in love. That's it. So refreshing. And then you get to learn about the sports, right? So I think this is also, so this is not like where anyone has a crush, like I said, I think they both fell in love at first sight. So this is a really nice show. I think it's 32 or 34 episodes. I'll put it up on the screen, the number of episodes, but like I said, it's on Netflix, so you can easily, watch maybe 40 minutes per episode. Not too bad. The next, and I have my notes, I'm sorry, I'm just, because that's a lot of names. Okay, so the next show that I wanted to talk about was The Double. So The Double came out last year, and it was so hyped, right? Everyone was like, the double, the double, the double, the double. So I'm like, okay, I don't like watching hyped shows because sometimes it doesn't live up to the hype. But I do have to say that I watched The Double, and okay, my girl, Shu Fei, she was badass. I'll give her that. She was very smart. And that's one thing that is missing from the shows that we're watching, that some of the shows that are coming out of recent, right? I think for me, the smartest female lead that I've watched has been Milan. She was the best. Like, go watch it. I mean, if you've watched the story of Milan, you know what I'm talking about. She's the one person that I feel like from start to finish, she was 10 over 10. Like, she was badass. She was smart. She was 10 steps ahead of her enemies. Like, she was that good. And they did it in such a way that she didn't feel like, she didn't feel too perfect. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, the girl, Dojao in Blossom, Dojao just comes off as, she didn't emote well, right? And I also have a problem with the Glory, Hanyang. Ugh, she's the worst. Like, I actually had to stop watching The Glory because she's getting on my last nerves. Because she's not smart at all, right? She's not smart at all. Like, 0 sense. She's more emotion, passion than using her actual brain. So, in terms of smart C-drama female leads, Milan will be number 1 for me. And I think Shu Fei is close in the top 5. I can't, like, off the top of my head say all of the other ones I've watched, but a standout is Shu Fei. Shu Fei is really smart, and she knew all the things she needed to do to accomplish what she needed to accomplish. She went through a lot, but you know, she was a fantastic lead to watch. You know, this is a 40 episode show, and it's a revenge story. So the synopsis is she is killed by her husband. Yes, by her legal husband. And apparently he doesn't do a really good job at the, you know, offing her. So she's able to literally come back from the grave and regain her life back. So it was a bit tricky because literally she was the same person, but she just had a different name, which I thought that was weird. In what if, like, people saw her and they knew she was the person, but she kept on saying, oh, I'm not that person. So I think in some ways that's why they usually do like the reincarnation one, the second chance stories, which they're doing a lot of them these days, and I don't care for them. But you know, this one is not like a second chance or reincarnation. She literally was just kind of like off, but he didn't do a good job, and so she came back and tried to get revenge because her husband actually killed her dad and her brother, I think. Yeah, killed her dad, killed her brother, killed everybody really, and he was just, yeah, he was a really trash husband. I swear I should do a list of trash Cdrama husbands. There's a lot of them, like a whole lot of trash husbands. So the double, like I said, she comes back and she decides to take revenge on her husband and the people who killed and murdered her family. And so she starts to pick off her enemies one by one. It's so satisfying to see how she accomplishes her goal. The other main villain in the story is the princess, who is, yikes. I have to say she's one of the most wackiest characters I've come across. You would actually sympathize with her, but she was just cuckoo. That's all I'm gonna say. So the double is 40 episodes. Oh, I didn't even talk about Shahang. So the male lead is this. So the first time I watched him was actually in Amidst a Snowstorm of Love. So if you watch that show, you will see him in the double. So even in Amidst a Snowstorm of Love, he was, I forgot his name, but Xiao Hong, he was so like put together. So he looked really good. So seeing him in a main role in the double, I was so happy for him, and he did fantastic. Like his character was so aloof, and his character was so like, he's really smart, and he knew a lot of things that were going on, and he was always there to help Shu Fengfei. Like he's like someone that's not a, how do I put it? He's not a, he operates in the gray, right? So a lot of things he knew about her, he kind of let it slide, and you know, would still help her. So he's what I would say a yellow flag. He's not green all the way, but he was a yellow flag, and he did a fantastic job. And I think especially because I had seen him in Amidst a Snowstorm of Love, I was so happy to just watch him be a main lead, you know, main character in this show, and he did fantastic. So if you like revenge stories, okay, another thing I do have to say is the ending was whack. I don't know what was going on with that ending. It was just watch like the first 38, and then whatever happens after, just ignore it, because I totally ignored because and that's a testament to how good the story was, because some shows you watch and you're just like, you know, I can't stand this, but this one, I think even with the trash ending, it was still a very, very good show from start to at least 38 episodes. So yeah, the double remains one of my most liked show from last year that I watched. Now I wanted to do like a quick I just wanted to talk about one more show, which is an OG. You know, it's not new in any sense, right? But this is one of the shows that gave me a new love for Cdramas, and that would be Eternal Love with Yang Min and Mac Chow. So Eternal Love is like, oh, I have watched this show. Not kidding. I probably watched it like 6 or 7 times. I know that it just sounds really bad, but it's such a good show. And every time I watch it, I get more emotional just watching their story. Bai Chen and Yewa they were just the best. I know a lot of people don't like this show. I mean, I feel like a lot of people don't like it, but this is one of my top shows. Like this will be my gold standard C drama. My gold standard K drama. I'm gonna do a video on that. But gold standard is Eternal Love. It has all of the elements that I love, which is a great love, has fantasy, great fight scenes, and compelling characters. A lot of characters. It's a whole cast. Like this is a 57 episode. It's on Netflix, right? And I think I actually did watch it on Netflix. So um it's a great love story, and this is one of those stories that's like about like the gods and immortal beings. So we have this girl who is from the Fox clan, and she is set to marry the son of the emperor at the time. And then she's like, yeah, I mean, this is so in this kind of cultures, the parents actually set the marriage. The children have no say in it. So her parents already set this marriage, and she's like, okay, fine, whatever, right? But then there's something where they kind of level up, right? So it's called a trial. So she has a trial where she has to go through some tribulation in order for her to level up to the next level of her powers. So think of it like if you're a One Piece fan, when my boy Luffy goes from gear 1 to gear 2 and he's like leveling up, that's exactly the concept, right? So Susu is Bai Chen, let me say Bai Chen. She, unfortunately is leveling up at the same time when she's supposed to, I guess, be getting ready to get married to this dude. And then she falls into her tribulation, which happens to be in the mortal realm, where she then meets you guessed it, her husband, her heavenly husband, as a model where he's pretending, right? And they fall in love. They actually get married in the mortal realm, and he's like ready to risk it all. And he goes back to heaven. He's like, I'm not marrying any Susu, I'm not marrying Bai Chen. Like I already have someone. And then all hell breaks loose. I'm not saying the story really well because I want you to go watch it without having any too much spoiler. But like I said, it's a long show and a lot of things happen. But I mean, their love was so strong. And so a lot of people feel like Susu was like mean, but I don't think so. I think that's just her character. There's just some people that are just like strict, and I feel like she really gave off that I am a bad, like I'm the best. Don't try me, right? She was so good. Like she was supposed to be like one of the strongest immortals, and she was both each other's like tribulation or trial. So at the end of the day, they were just the perfect power couple, right? So Eternal Love will always have a space in my heart. Eternal Love and Eternal Love of Dream or Dream of Love. The one with the second part of the story is the one that follows Donghua and our little mischievous fox, the one with Diliraba. That one, I also binge watch that one almost every year. So, but that's that. Eternal Love of Dreams is not on Netflix. It's just on Viki, and I just want to really focus on the Netflix shows. So yeah, if you like a lengthier love story that's like super fleshed out and you have time, go ahead and pick it up. It's not 24 episodes. Obviously, it's like 50 episodes, but it will give you an epic. When I say epic love story, this Eternal Love is like my number one. The second one would be Ashes of Love. I don't have it on Netflix anymore. I think they took it out. So I don't even think it's on Viki. I haven't seen it on Viki as well. So I don't know where you would watch that, but Ashes of Love is also almost close to the same. And I do have to say that Yang Mi killed it as Bai Chen. Like, I don't think I can see anyone else in the role of Bai Chen. Like, Yang Ming crushed it 100%. Same with Mac Chow. He did such a fantastic job as Yewa. Like, it was to the point like I actually had to get like the books because I just really loved the story. This is one show that every time I watch it, I know what's gonna happen, but I will will buckets just because the acting is so good. They're so good together, and I mean, Yemin, she killed it. They both did, like, and not just them, but even the co-stars. Everybody just did a very fantastic job. It's a well fleshed out story. It's epic. In I don't know, it's so epic. Like it's so epic. So if you like sweet, young love growing up from like, high school, that's When I Fly Towards You. Amidst a Snowstorm is more like young adults, young adults trying to find their way in the world. I would recommend watching that show like winter because it has this like very it's all cold. It's set in like the winter time, so everything's like super cold and it spreads, right? You feel like, oh, I just want like a warm cup and just be cozy. If you like hat pounding, hat wrenching, like you want to, beat some people up and you want like hard revenge stories, that's gonna be the double. My girl Shu Feng Fei, she crushed it. Don't play with her. And if you want an epic story of like mad proportions, that's gonna be Eternal Love. Like, it's long, but it's so worth it. And the other thing is, this is one show where from start to finish, there is nothing I can say that they did wrong. Like in the double where the ending was just so crappy. Eternal Love from start to finish was just perfection. And I have to actually give a honorable mention to the story of Milan. The story of Milan is maybe 78 episodes. I'm not joking. 78 episodes, like 50 minutes each, right? And that's hands down the most interesting show I have ever watched. 78 episodes, that's going to be my top number one. So I'm just going to quickly tier rank. Is going to be first, is going to be Story of Milan. Well, because it's not per se like a love story. It's more like a life of a woman. And she was the number one is Milan. Then you have Eternal Love. Then you have Ashes of Love. So if you're interested in like really hardcore, those would be my top three. Very, very, must watch Cdramas. Those three. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you've watched any of these shows, if you like them, if you want to keep watching videos like this where I recommend shows that I've watched. And yeah, let me know in the comments if any of that sounds fascinating to you. As always, please like, subscribe, share, and comment in the comment section below. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.